Every single second, right now as you're watching this, approximately 15,000 cigarettes roll off factory production lines around the world. That's not per minute, that's per second. And somewhere deep inside a facility, the size of 3 football fields, machines that move faster than the human eye can track are doing something most people never think about. You've seen the box, you've seen the product, but you have absolutely no idea what happens in between. Welcome to Infusions and Elements, where we take you inside the factories the world never shows you. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now, because this is the kind of content you won't find anywhere else. Here's what nobody ever asks. How do you take a dried leaf, something that crumbles in your hand, and turn it into one of the most precisely manufactured products on Earth? Because that's exactly what a cigarette is. It's not just tobacco rolled in paper. It's an engineered product, measured to the milligram, tested to the millimeter, produced at a speed that makes most manufacturing lines look slow. And the process? It's more fascinating and more calculated than anything you'd expect. Let's go inside. Stage 1. The tobacco blend. It starts long before the factory floor. Tobacco is sourced from multiple countries: Virginia, Brazil, Zimbabwe, Turkey. Each variety has a different flavor profile, a different burn rate, a different texture, and manufacturers don't use just one type. They blend them. Think of it like a recipe, a closely guarded proprietary recipe that major brands have spent decades perfecting. Some blends use 4 types of tobacco, some use more than 10. When the raw tobacco arrives at the facility, it comes in massive compressed bales, each one weighing hundreds of kilograms. The bales are opened and fed into a conditioning chamber where steam and controlled humidity are applied. Why humidity? Because dry tobacco shatters. It becomes dust. It can't be cut cleanly, and it can't be processed at speed. The moisture makes it pliable, workable, like softening dough before you shape it. After conditioning, the tobacco moves to the cutting room. Stage 2, the cut. This is where things start to get precise. The tobacco leaves, stems removed, blend perfected, are fed into cutting machines called rotary cutters. These machines slice the tobacco into ultra-thin strips called cut rag. The cut width matters enormously. Too wide and the cigarette burns unevenly. Too fine and the draw becomes restricted. The ideal cut is measured in fractions of a millimeter. After cutting, the tobacco is dried again, this time to a very specific moisture content. Factories measure this constantly. Automated sensors check the moisture level every few seconds on the production line. Because consistency is everything. If one batch is slightly too dry or too moist, thousands of cigarettes will be affected before anyone notices. And in a facility producing tens of millions of units per day, that's not a mistake anyone can afford. Here's something most people don't know. The tobacco is also treated with a mixture of ingredients at this stage. These can include sugars, humectants, and flavor compounds. This process is called casing. It enhances flavor, controls moisture, and makes the tobacco burn at the desired rate. This is where the brand identity really begins. The taste you associate with a specific cigarette? That's largely built right here, in this room, with formulas that are treated like classified information. Stage 3, the cigarette maker machine. Now we reach the heart of the operation. And nothing can prepare you for what these machines actually do. The primary manufacturing machine used in cigarette production is called a cigarette maker, and the most advanced versions can produce up to 20,000 cigarettes per minute. Let that land for a second. 20,000 finished, perfectly formed cigarettes, every single minute. That's faster than most people can blink 3 times. The process inside this machine is a carefully choreographed sequence that happens in a space no larger than a large room. The cut tobacco is fed into a hopper at one end. Inside, a continuous stream of tobacco is distributed evenly onto a moving band of cigarette paper. Paper that arrives in enormous rolls, feeding into the machine at high speed. The paper wraps around the tobacco automatically, and a thin line of adhesive seals the seam. The result is an endless, continuous rod of tobacco, called a tobacco rod, moving through the machine like a river. Then a rotating blade cuts the rod into individual cigarette lengths with surgical precision. The tolerances here are extraordinary. Each cigarette must be within fractions of a millimeter of the required length. Each one must weigh within milligrams of the target weight. Sensors check every unit. Rejects are kicked off the line automatically. If you ever wondered why cigarettes from the same pack feel so identical, this is why. Stage 4, the filter. The filter deserves its own chapter. Most people assume the filter is just cotton. It's not. The standard cigarette filter is made from a material called cellulose acetate, a fiber derived from wood pulp. It's produced in large toes, which look almost like compressed white hair, and then stretched, crimped, and wrapped in plug wrap paper to form individual filter plugs. Entire separate production lines exist just to make filters, and they operate at a similar mind-bending speed. The filter plugs are then married to the tobacco rods in a machine called a filter attacher, or in industry terms, a combiner. This machine takes the tobacco rod on one side, the filter plug on the other, and joins them together with a small piece of tipping paper, that final ring of paper you see around the filter end. This tipping paper is what gives finished cigarettes their polished, premium look, and it's applied so fast and so precisely that the human eye genuinely cannot follow it. Something you didn't expect. Here's a fact that stops most people. A single cigarette maker machine running at full capacity processes more individual components per hour than most small factories produce in a week. The paper, the tobacco, the filter, the adhesive, the tipping paper, every single element must arrive at the exact right moment in the exact right quantity, aligned to fractions of a millimeter, or the entire machine shuts itself down. These machines are, in their own way, some of the most demanding pieces of precision engineering in the world of consumer manufacturing. And they run 24 hours a day. If you're finding this process more complex than you expected, you're not alone. Most people have no idea how much engineering goes into something they hold between two fingers. Stay with us, because the next stage is where it all comes together, and where the factory does something most viewers find genuinely surprising. Stage 5. Quality control. Before any cigarette reaches a pack, it goes through inspection. Modern factories use automated vision systems, high-speed cameras operating at thousands of frames per second, to inspect every single cigarette on the line. These systems check the ends. They check for loose tobacco. They check the seam alignment. They check the filter attachment. They check the overall diameter. Any cigarette that falls outside the specification, even slightly, is rejected before it reaches packaging. This isn't just about quality, it's about consistency. Because when a consumer picks up a pack, they expect every single unit to perform identically, and the machines make sure they do. Human quality control teams also perform random sampling throughout every shift. They physically test cigarettes, measuring draw resistance, checking weight, examining construction. These results are logged, tracked, and compared to historical data. Factories that supply major global brands operate under quality standards that rival pharmaceutical manufacturing. That level of precision, for something this small, is genuinely remarkable. Stage 6. The packaging line. This is the stage most people never imagine exists. The finished cigarettes are fed into packaging machines in precise counts, typically 20 per pack. The machine places them in formation, wraps them in foil inner liner, applies the cardboard outer shell, and seals the whole thing, including the transparent outer film, in one continuous motion. The speed? Up to 600 packs per minute on the fastest machines. Think about that. 600 fully formed, foil-lined, film-wrapped cigarette packs, every minute. The packs then move to a carton machine, where 10 packs are grouped and wrapped into cartons. Cartons are then grouped into cases. Cases are palletized by robotic systems. And within hours, they're loaded onto trucks and moving toward distribution centers. From loose tobacco leaf to sealed retail-ready pack, the entire journey through the factory can take less than a single day. The final reveal. Here's what makes this entire process extraordinary. At every step, the blending, the cutting, the forming, the filtering, the inspection, the packaging, the tolerances are tighter than most people would believe possible for a mass-produced consumer product. We're talking about a product that sells for a few dollars, produced at millions of units per day, with a consistency and precision that rivals industries we typically associate with high technology. The machines that do this are themselves engineering masterpieces, designed, refined, and optimized over decades by companies whose sole purpose is making this process faster, cleaner, and more accurate. And it all happens behind closed doors, in facilities most of us will never walk through. Running around the clock, invisible to the billions of people who interact with the end product every day. You've now seen something most people never think to look at. There's something almost philosophical about this process. One of the most controversial products in human history, debated in courtrooms, regulated by governments, studied by scientists, is also one of the most precisely manufactured objects you will ever hold in your hand. The engineering doesn't know the debate. The machines don't pause for the politics. They just run. And in that gap, between the controversy and the craftsmanship, lies one of the most fascinating factory stories ever told. Now you know what's inside the factory. Now you know the process behind the product. And next time you see that familiar rectangular box on a shelf somewhere, you'll see something completely different. If this is the kind of behind-the-scenes factory content that gets your brain moving, you're in the right place. Every week on Infusions and Elements, we go inside the factories, the machines, and the processes that make the world run. And we show you what nobody else bothers to explain. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, because next time we're going even deeper. And trust us, you don't want to miss what's coming.